everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Nonsense and Stuff show here on the Beyond Stuff channel. My name is Brian Shiver, and I am the pilot of this ship. And right here with me is my co-pilot, Mr. John Chevalier. How you doing, John?
I'm giving gas hands. People don't hear it, but so like a
And
silent applause.
And they can't see it either, John. They can't see it either.
Eventually.
And that's for now, guys. That's for now because we're dealing with budget issues here. My plan was eventually to make it a video show. That was the initial plan for me. But we have big bombs of Marvel news ever since they announced the Comic Con conference and everything else after it. So I thought, you know what? Maybe we should start now. Because I wasn't planning on starting this year. But I think this is big enough to start now. So this is the plan that we're going to do with this show for the next few months. While we deal with the whole thing, since the studio is not even done and everything, we're going to make monthly shows. Covering different topics and bringing on guests for the show. Eventually, we're going to be more
sparsed out on our conversations.
Exactly. We're gonna be more involved into making more shows instead of monthly. We plan to do it even bi-weekly or even weekly. Who knows? But that is in the future of this channel. But for now, we are settled with monthly shows, different topics. If you want any topic to be talked here on the channel, let us know. But for now, we're gonna talk about this little thing called Marvel.
The major oof.
Yeah, the major oof. Because everybody likes Marvel, I think, right? Do they like Marvel? Do they like the Spider-Man?
The Spider-Man is one of the biggest ones.
I know.
It's like
I know.
one.
I know. Because I've been hearing a lot about this news between this divorce of Disney and Sony, which means Spider-Man.
First we had the problem with the dissolve, and now we have the problem with the divorce.
Yeah.
Both problems starts with a D. Every problem starts with a D.
I mean, that's meant for you. And listen, what we heard is initially that Spider-Man is leaving the MCU. And everybody got shocked. Everybody started crying. The little fangirls of Tom Holland. This is what we know. Tom Holland is going to keep on playing Spider-Man. That's all we know.
At least that's his words continue saying.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But they're not going to take place in the MCU.
They're going to be taking place on the SMU. Yeah.
Or the Venom
Sony.
universe. Venom universe. Because of course they're going to cross over with Venom eventually.
If I see the Venom crossed over with Spider-Man, I'll be stoked. The movie was great, but that's for
I
another
haven't
day.
seen it actually.
You never saw Venom?
No, because, I was doing some other stuff back then. And I wasn't really interested in Venom. Especially because of everything I've been hearing about the movie.
It was, in my opinion, it was perfectly portrayed.
What I've heard about the movie is that it's not bad.
It's not.
It's not. It's just a outdated superhero film. And I don't have a problem with that because I like most old movies like the Blade movies. I like those.
Which apparently Blade is having a comeback, supposedly.
Yeah, but we're gonna discuss that later.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Spider-Man first because this issue came with money. Because apparently Disney wanted to divide the production fees half and half with Sony. I've been looking up the information, and apparently, this is what I heard with my sources, that they didn't even want the 50-50 divide. No. They wanted just a little bit more than the 5%. And that is understandable. Here is my issue. We're talking about Disney here.
The big monopoly.
It's not a monopoly yet. Let's not go through that route. Disney is taking over everything in the entertainment world, but it's not a monopoly yet. They haven't bought Apple. They haven't bought Sony.
I heard a jet there.
No. I wasn't saying yet, but let's not call it what it's not. They're money hungry, yes, but they're not a monopoly just yet. They don't need the money,
They definitely don't need it.
but Sony does
Does.
need the the advantage and the and the what do you say? What do you say? The rewards that comes with Spider-Man being on the MCU.
Hmm.
This is all a bad, very, 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 very bad thing to happen to both companies, both Disney and both Sony, because Marvel produced this latest Spider-Man movie, which I didn't like.
Which one? The
Far From Home. I
Oh,
didn't
Far
like
From
it.
Home.
I didn't like it. I'm being honest here, and I'm not gonna come here with bullshit. Oh no, I really like it pretty much. No, I didn't like it. Straight up. I've been hearing every people say that this is the best Spider-Man movie, and for me, it's far from that. I did like Mysterio, however. I love that guy. I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I love his take on Mysterio. Cheesy, maybe, but it was pretty effective to me. But that's we're not talking about why I don't like that movie. What we're talking is the repercussions that this has, because the movie ended up pretty big cliffhanger, and I don't know. I have no clue how
they're
the
gonna patch it
producers
up.
behind the MCU are gonna deal with that,
Yeah, they're how they're gonna patch it up without
and
the
how does
involvement.
Sony deals with this new Spider-Man, with this Tom Holland incarnation of Spider-Man, and how do they not address the MCU as a whole? Because you cannot just leave everything in the dark. This will affect both ends, but I know that this is gonna be fine because they have plenty more IP and they just bought Fox, so they are gonna have the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, so they'll be quite alright. They're gonna take the hit, but they'll be alright. But I'm a bit optimistic. I I hope that cooler heads prevail and we'll see them reaching an agreement because it's better for both companies and eventually even better for the Spider-Man brand.
Hmm. Uh, I'm more curious rather than Disney, seeing how they're gonna patch up how to tie up all loose ends. I'm more curious as to what Sony's biggest plan is gonna come to play.
I can tell you right now they're gonna mix it up with Venom because Venom gained 800 million at the box office.
Oh really?
Yeah,
They earned more than I expected, honestly.
and
That's
I
a
was
good
expecting
achievement.
it to flop because of everything I've been hearing. People were divided with the movie eventually, but I wasn't expecting it to win that much, which is good for them. I like that companies succeed with their IP because let's be honest, Disney winning everything, it gets boring.
But with that said, you think Spider-Man's gonna go to not super edgy, but on a darker tone? I mean, if he's gonna face off Venom, he's eventually gonna face off Carnage too.
I know. I doubt they'll go that route because Spider-Man's image, this big image of Spider-Man, they don't wanna taint it just to be edgy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to go that way because this is what's selling, people connecting, universe connecting. That's the biggest selling point of the MCU.
But then, with that said, we may have a new intake on the Green Goblins in the future again, yet again.
And we can have Uncle Ben die again. And we're gonna have Spidey get bit by a spider again. We're gonna have all of this again. Maybe
No, because
because
I don't think.
I doubt they're gonna do that because Tom Holland's Spider-Man is already established,
Yeah,
and if you're gonna keep going with Tom
Tom
Holland's
Holland.
Spider-Man,
Then
it
Ben
doesn't
so
make it doesn't make sense to go down the Ben route
unless they do the same thing that they're doing with Black Widow, which is basically kind of like a
like a prequel.
yeah, like a prequel.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense for Spider-Man where it's at right now.
Exactly.
It
And
doesn't make sense at all.
the only way they would do a prequel is how he connected with Tony Stark.
And they cannot touch
They
on
cannot
that
touch that anymore.
if they don't go through an agreement. They cannot touch on that.
But all in all, now we're here left waiting for about possibly what I call like maybe 2 years, and see the future of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I've heard they're gonna continue developing Spider-Man 3, whether it's inside or outside the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We don't know as of yet. As of today, I'm checking Twitter. Nothing yet.
I'm not too keen on sometimes how Sony deals with movies, but seeing how well Tom Holland portrayed the new Spider-Man, I'm more uppity about it. I'm more stoked to see what Sony has in store rather than Disney.
What worries me with Spider-Man is this thing with fans boycotting it, because we cannot count the fans for granted.
Touche.
The MCU fans are very vocal, and they're gonna show it with Spider-Man if they do go the route of not connecting it with the MCU. And the last two IPs they used outside the Spider characters was Men in Black and the Ghostbusters. And I did like the Ghostbusters reboot, but let's be honest, it fucking flopped.
It was terrible, in my opinion.
Did
But
you see
that's
it? Did you see it? You haven't seen it, right? Just like I haven't seen Venom.
I've seen a couple of clips though.
It's fun.
I've seen.
It's pretty fun. It goes downhill. I can
It
admit
feels
that.
more like one of those TV shows that's trying to revive a dead series,
A dead brand.
a dead brand, let's say.
But if we're gonna say that Ghostbusters succeeded, because why? Because this movie flopped and they are gonna make a sequel to the original Ghostbusters.
Maybe
So they revived the brand, even though they flopped.
Maybe they should have stuck to. Maybe now me saying that out loud, maybe they should have done a series of Ghostbusters instead. It would have been more interesting. We could have seen more of the world in different episodes. New ghosts. They could deal with things ever so slowly with a backstory slowly
I would
developing.
like that. I would like that. I would like an animated series, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not gonna talk about Ghostbusters,
No.
because then people were gonna go ahead and hunt me down because I like the ladies one. Don't kill me. I have my opinion. You guys have yours. You guys like Spider-Man. I do not. But I like Ghostbusters, and you guys don't. Don't kill me. It's my taste. Sorry. So Spider-Man's gone. Spider-Man's maybe gone. Not gone. Who knows? He got snapped. And this time it wasn't Thanos' fault. It was Sony's and Disney's fault.
I say it was mainly Disney, so. Because apparently, with my sources, apparently it's not the first time that the Disney tried to pull the 50-50 card onto them, which is apparently supposedly
And
one of the
again-
problems that happened with
again,
Amazing
I have my
Spider-Man.
sources, and apparently it's not the case. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We will never know because we are not inside those reunions and those negotiations. People are trying to bring up this issue with the merchandising rights.
Mm-hmm.
Sony sold that to Marvel, to Disney. You cannot play that card. They sold it for a quick cash, and they admit it was a mistake, but they did it already. So nothing of merchandise was going to go to Sony anyways, because that belongs to Marvel, the merchandising rights. And the production rights belongs to Sony, so that's a tricky situation. Just like the Universal thing with Hulk. But I hope they work it out, because it's the best for both companies to reach an agreement.
The best of both worlds.
Exactly. We can still have Venom running around in his own universe, killing Carnage, killing Morbius, maybe, and then we can have Spider-Man kissing Thor's ass. Why not? But the Spider-Man news is not gonna start Marvel and the MCU anytime soon, because we have plenty of projects coming along, like the Black Widow movie, which is coming on the next May, and I've been hearing pretty good things about it.
I mean,
Do you know anything about the movie?
I know nothing about it. Is it gonna be a bad movie? I highly doubt Disney does their movie pretty, good, I guess, except for the first Thor.
This
movie
is
and the
what we
second.
know.
No, the first one was good. The second.
This is what we know so far. They have a pretty solid cast. They got Florence Pugh. I know her from Fighting with My Family, a wrestling movie, which I loved.
Oh, I know the movie.
They have Rachel Weisz. I think she was in the Mummy movies, like in the very old ones.
Old ones.
Yeah, and she's pretty good. She was in The Favorite, an Oscar-nominated movie, and I think she was nominated as supporting actress. I think so. I think that kind of proves the talent that she brings in to the table. And we're gonna have David Harbour. Everybody knows him as Hopper from Stranger Things. He's gonna be playing the Red Guardian.
The thing is, in my opinion, considering that the Infinity Saga, that's
The
the name.
Infinity Saga, yeah.
Now that the Infinity Saga is over, and it's the one that gained the most fire out of everyone. In my opinion, if they stick too much, sticking to the path, with Far From Home and Black Widow, I believe that by the time that they finally try to open up a new story, a new direction,
Which is not. We're not far from a new story. We have Black Widow's story, which
it's a prequel.
it's a
Still
prequel. I know people have been wanting it. The movie's coming a bit too late, given to
a little too late.
yeah, given to the events on Endgame. But I'm interested because they're using one character I've been having my eyes on lately. They're using the Taskmaster.
Damn.
I'm not a comics guy, but I've seen that character play out in the latest Spider-Man game, and I'm very
The
interested to see how they utilize Taskmaster in this movie. But I hope he survives because that's a pretty cool character to waste it on one movie.
well,
So I hopefully they do not waste it here.
well, let's see. I mean, I wanted to see more of the scrolls also, and we didn't get any
Oh,
of
believe
that.
me, we are scratching the surface with the scrolls.
I hope that's the
Believe me.
case.
You haven't seen Far From Home, right?
I have not.
Then we're still scratching the surface with the scrolls. All right. Black Widow coming May 2020. David Harbour as the Red Guardian, like the opposite of Captain America. It's interesting because I'm liking this thing of bringing David Harbour to the spotlight. People remember him mostly because of Stranger Things, and his latest movie Hellboy flopped, and not because of him. But I want him to be involved on better projects, and I think this one is right up his alley.
Who does Ghost Rider belong to? Has that always been Disney?
Yeah, it's been Disney. Well, I think, was with Fox, but it reverted back.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider is gonna have his own show. You know that
Yeah, I heard.
on Hulu,
And I want
and they're gonna use the same guy from Agents of Shield.
But wait, shouldn't it be better if they put that on Disney Plus? No, never mind.
No, it's
They're not
too
gonna
edgy.
put- yeah,
It's too edgy, and
too
Disney
edgy.
Plus is gonna be family friendly.
Where did they show Punisher? Where did they broadcast it?
They used to broadcast it on Netflix.
Used to?
Yeah, they
Well-
pulled everything out of there.
Oh, right. I forgot
Yeah.
about that fact.
They pulled Punisher, they pulled Daredevil, they pulled Jessica Jones, they pulled Luke Cage, and the one people will not miss at all, the Iron Fist. Because that was a pretty weak show. And I tried, I watched the first season. I tried to like that show. I like Iron Fist better than the Defenders, but the Defenders wasn't that very good of a crossover show. So
The
they,
Defenders got out?
yeah.
Wow. Must have been that low for me not to know that.
Yeah, but I don't judge you. You're not that connected to the whole
Comic
internet. Yeah,
industry.
yeah. You're more of a outsider of that,
Yeah.
and so that's why I brought you here because I want to see
My
your opinion.
intake.
Yeah. Next to the Black Widow, we have a new franchise.
Sorry
Bless
about
you.
that. Thank you.
We have the Eternals coming up. The Eternals.
Who's directing it?
I think it is. Let me see. Chloe Shao.
Chloe Shao?
She directed I think it was an indie movie, but this is her first big time project.
Her big debut, basically.
Yeah,
you'd say.
but it has a pretty strong cast. It has Kumail Nanjiani. It has Richard Madden. It has Mrs. Beautiful herself, Angelina Jolie.
I mean, you can
And
have.
and just now they reveal Kit Harington from Game of Thrones.
I keep hearing a lot of the Eternals, but I am kind of fearful of it
I'm
because
not.
whenever they
Listen,
try to like yes,
after Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't know those guys, and after that first movie, I fell in love with those guys. So, and the guys behind Marvel knows how to introduce these new IPs.
God bless James one, James Gunn,
James Gunn.
Gunn.
James
There we
Gunn.
go.
Yeah, James Gunn. He was the director of Guardians 2, and thankfully Guardians 3.
Amen.
It's gonna happen. It's the same. I have a feeling it's gonna happen. The same thing that happened to the Guardians is gonna happen with this one because this is straight from the mind of Jack Kirby. And I haven't read his comic books, but I have seen Jack Kirby's art because it's hard not to. And the images of the Eternals are colorful, are bombastic, and they are beautiful to look at. Hell, I will put one on my wall, like in that wall over there.
Hmm.
And I've seen some productions pictures of the filming of the Eternals, and I'm pretty intrigued. I like what they're doing with the Eternals.
Where does the Eternals take place? Like on Earth, or is it gonna be like different planet? I don't know much about them, so
No, I do not know either, but think I think it's gonna take place on Earth, but it's a prequel.
it's gonna be a prequel. So before Infinity Saga,
Before everything before everything in the MCU,
before Loki.
before even Loki.
Damn. So we're going back again, kind of like, actually, kind of in the same days of Black Widow. Black Widow would have been what before Loki.
Yeah.
In fact, even before Iron Man.
Mhm.
So the Eternals will probably be taking place
The,
with Black Widow.
what I know
and
is that they're gonna be very very far away from the current line of the MCU.
so not
But they're
even.
gonna connect to the eventually to these characters. I don't know if it's gonna. We're not sure if it's gonna take place fully in the past, or they're gonna be meeting the Avengers eventually. But I know it's gonna be a pretty distant set of characters because they're gonna give it their own space to develop, just like they gave the Guardians their own space. So I'm intrigued with that because they're new, they're brand new.
Do you know anything about like? Is there like a specific protagonist, like one protagonist at least that we're gonna be following with the Eternals?
I've heard that they're gonna use the Black Knight, which is being played by Kit Harington, who is a non-eternal. He's a human, and Cersei, which is one of the main gals from the Eternals group, played by Gemma Chan, who was previously on Captain Marvel playing Minerva, which is pretty cool because she was kind of wasted. We didn't see enough of Minerva on Captain Marvel.
I saw Captain Marvel, but I forgot already.
Minerva is the blue gal from the Star Force.
Um. Oh, okay. There
Yeah,
we go.
and that's the same actress that's gonna play Cersei in this Eternals movie.
So you think it's gonna?
Yes, there's not gonna be an issue. I mean, the Minerva's dead. We can
True.
spoil that, right? We can spoil that. And she isn't a big character in the current MCU, so I don't think there's gonna be any issue whatsoever.
No, it's not that. I mean connection.
No, there's not gonna be any issue because then we will have a problem with the guy playing Blade, Mahershala Ali, because he was on Luke Cage, but it has been established that the Netflix shows no
Alright.
longer connect to the MCU,
Mm.
so we don't have that issue, and I think we're clear that these are two different characters.
Two
They
different-
just happen to be played by the same actress.
Yeah, two different entities.
Yeah, and I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
No, I'm okay with it. I mean, I still had to adjust. It happened already in Iron Man 2 when they had to change fucking roads, you know.
Yeah, and with Hulk.
And with Hulk, right?
People will be okay as long as Gemma Chan plays her role right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Next in line is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show on Disney Plus. I think this one's gonna come between Black Widow and Eternals in that timeline. which will feature the Falcon taking the Captain America mantle.
So, hmm. I didn't know it was gonna be a show, The Falcon.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I didn't know it was
It's
gonna
gonna
be.
do, it's gonna be on the on the Disney Plus streaming service.
Damn it. Damn it. Now I'm a little stressed out.
Why?
Because even though I'm not too much into the comics, I still like to follow up with, the pop culture.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
And knowing it's gonna be on a different streaming site, then I'm gonna have to now
Hey,
pay monthly.
I'm a guy that's always on Twitter. That's why I know these things.
And I just hate when they kind of separate these things because I
No,
know I'm
but
gonna have to watch it to understand a possible
the good thing that's going for you is that the streaming service for Disney Plus is gonna cost pretty cheap. It's gonna be $6.99 per month. So that's a plus.
at least that's super cheap actually.
And this one's gonna connect to the MCU too. That's a big selling point of the Disney Plus streaming service. And they're gonna bring back Zemo, the villain from Civil War.
The villain from Civil. Oh damn.
Yeah, and he's gonna go full Baron Zemo. He's gonna put on his hood, and he's gonna go hunt. I believe he's gonna go hunt the Winter Soldier, and
Yeah, because he never died.
yeah,
He got captured.
yeah, he got captured. And he's gonna escape now, I believe.
Oof.
And Emily Van Camp is gonna return as Sharon Carter. I don't know how they're gonna explain Captain America's absence, especially since they kiss, and we know that Sharon Carter is the niece of Miss Peggy Carter. And that's gonna get a little bit awkward since Steve went back in time and stayed with Peggy.
Yeah. Actually,
I think that's gonna give some room for comedy.
I'm still confused how they handle the concept of time in
Mhm.
the Infinity War. Like I know they were trying to put it in a simple way for everybody, including like probably old people and kids to understand the time
They made it
paradox.
difficult by not following Back to the Future's rule.
Yeah. They even made a joke about it. That was genius.
I know, but I felt insulted. I do like those simpler rules.
But with that, like, it's just there has to be some sort of paradox in some way. There has to be a different timeline, right?
No, I don't think they're gonna touch on those things in this MCU.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because then it's gonna get way too complicated. And people don't like Doctor Who because of that. It gets so complicated.
People don't like Doctor Who?
People don't like Doctor Who.
How could they?
Hey, I'm the only guy at my job who watches the goddamn show. That pretty much tells you that. People don't like the show, and I've been pitching it to everyone. Hey,
Wait, you're killing me here. There's a show of Doctor Who? I'm about to smack something right now for not knowing any of this. This is what I mean. I'm not into comics. I don't know about
Doctor
this.
Who, the Doctor with the
Wait, why was my mind registering Doctor Strange?
No, those are two different doctors. Very different doctors. One played by far too many actors,
Like you're here,
and one played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
you're here telling me people don't like Doctor Who, and I'm here like they
No,
don't like
people-
Doctor Strange.
I heard very little people not liking Doctor Strange. I pretty much like him.
I love Doctor Strange. I mean, look, I even have.
That's the goddamn Sonny Screwdriver from Doctor Who.
No,
You're
okay.
mixing them up.
Now somebody needs to cross over the both Doctors.
No, they shouldn't. So, as well as bringing in Zemo and Sharon Carter, they're gonna be introducing a brand new character on the Falcon and Winter Soldier show.
And that character maybe.
Is the U.S. agent played by Wyatt Russell. He is like a pretty much more meaner Captain America.
Really?
Yeah.
There's another America representative type of character.
We're talking about American comics. Of course, there has to be more than one American representative.
I mean, I thought it was mainly just Steve.
No, there's U.S. agent, and he's pretty mean. He's an asshole, as I've been told by fans.
What type of asshole? Like Doctor House type of asshole?
I wouldn't put it that way, but he's an asshole, and an asshole is an asshole.
Through and through.
Yeah. So they're gonna be bringing him in, maybe, because I've heard the plot of the show. It's a rumor for now, and I've heard that people in the show, the people in the higher ranks do not like the idea of Falcon being the new Captain America. So that's why they're bringing in the U.S. agent to be quote unquote the next Captain America.
I'm more into uh, Hawk. I like, you know, what was his name again?
Hawkeye?
Yeah, Hawk. No, not Hawkeye. I mean, Eagle. Whoops. What was his real name?
Which one?
The one that Captain America Steve passed
It's
on
Falcon.
Falcon. There we go. I said Eagle for some dumbass reason. First Doctor Strange and now Eagle.
Yeah, your mind is a powerful, powerful thing going through.
It's a powerful place. Like, you don't want to be there.
Yeah, definitely not.
There's chaos.
I
Time,
bet there
like,
is.
24/7.
And after Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
What was his?
we
But seriously, what was his real name? Like character real name?
character, I think it was Sam.
Was it Sam?
It was Sam. Because I know Winter Soldier is Bucky Barnes.
Yeah.
This one's Sam.
There we go.
I don't know the last name. That's how great they have used him. And now he's gonna give us the chance to know him more. Anyways, next in line to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I told you Falcon and the Winter Soldier is gonna take place between the Black Widow movie and the Eternals movie, right?
No, you did not tell me.
No, and when it comes to release dates,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
not timeline wise, but when it
Release
comes
dates.
yeah,
Yeah, that I do know.
I believe that after the Eternals comes Shang-Chi. And this one's a bit interesting because I've been wanting for a while to have the Mandarin in the MCU. How do I know the Mandarin? Simple. I used to play this little game called Marvel's Ultimate Alliance.
God bless Ultimate Alliance.
And I love that game. That's how I got introduced to this big world of the Marvel characters.
Apparently,
And something about the Mandarin pissed me off because
And
he
the
was
sec-
hard to beat.
in Iron Man 3 or
No, in the game, in the actual game.
oh,
So when I heard the 10 rings in the first few Iron Man movies, I was getting intrigued. Oh look, where they're finally gonna pull it off. They're finally gonna bring the Mandarin on the mainstream. Then Iron Man 3 came.
I have an idea, dude.
What?
Since they already have X-Men, right? If we're gonna be
We're not gonna be touching X-Men for a while.
No, but they're gonna. I know for a while, but if they're gonna
We're
start,
we're gonna go through the Mandarin first and the X-Men.
but if we're gonna, we don't know what the next big villain is gonna be, the next saga,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are speculating it's Galactus. But if we're not gonna go full galactic, I suggest maybe do justice to Apocalypse.
That's a pretty good idea. I can see it happening, but I don't think I see it happening in the next 10 years for now.
Like maybe you should
Because
do
you gotta forget about the stinker that was Apocalypse.
yeah.
But back to the Mandarin. I hated this twist with the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. I did like a bit of the movie because remember we both saw it.
We went.
It was was it our first MCU movie together
I
as a group
think it was either.
or second?
Which one came first? Was it Iron Man 3? Well, on the
The Avengers came first.
we saw Avengers first, obviously, but after that,
It was
on
Iron
the
Man
on the
3.
second, how do you call those? The in betweens, the intermissions,
Let me-
intersections?
Let me see. Let me see the timeline. MCU timeline.
Because I don't remember if it was Iron Man or if it was Thor.
I believe it was Iron Man.
You think it was
Iron
Iron
Man.
Man?
It was
Iron
Iron
Man. Yes, we went to see.
We
it.
did see that one.
Yeah, we after Avengers, we started seeing all the movies
Yeah.
on the movies.
And I didn't like the twist. I didn't like Mandarin's twist.
I hated it so much. Like I remember when Iron Man 3 was in the like on the commercials and shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know who Mandarin was. And then I remember, you'll never see it coming, right? Yeah, that's one of the lines of Mandarin in the trailer.
I don't
And
remember the trailer
yeah, I
so much
remember
because I
that
would like
part.
to forget that.
I remember the trailer because he was like talking.
The only thing I can clearly remember about Iron Man 3 is the theme that they used for the Iron Man in that movie, and I like that theme pretty much.
I don't
Everything
know.
else about the movie I didn't like.
I remember almost everything of the movie. I saw it only once. I haven't seen it again. I remember it
I
clear
will
as day.
not touch on that again.
And I remember seeing the guy in the trailer with a lot of rings on his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says that quote that I said, they blew up Tony's house for the first time. Then we had the second time.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
And then I remember studying so much about who in the hell is Mandarin. And we even talked with our biggest comic friend was Adrian, right?
Jose was at the time.
Yeah, but Jose didn't know that much about Mandarin.
No, I think he pretty much knew about the Mandarin.
You think? Because we were
Oh,
talking.
we never talked to him about it if he didn't like that twist or not.
We didn't, as a matter of fact. But
yeah, and I'm and maybe you are speaking terms with him. I'm not.
I'm normal with him, but he used.
Yeah, he's a hard guy to track. Anyways, we're gonna see the real Mandarin on Shang-Chi,
Finally,
the master of Kung Fu.
Because that was disappointing.
The movie's full title is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
But who is Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi is the master of Kung Fu.
So are we gonna see a justice also for Iron Fist? A possibility?
We will see Iron Fist rebooted eventually, but not in the near future. I think Shang-Chi will do. Shang-Chi will do. And let me see who's playing Shang-Chi. Simu Liu. I think this is his first big part, and he's been wanting this role, and he's been campaigning for this role on Twitter. That's what's fun about this movie.
In the meantime, you mind looking up for an image? Like, I don't know who Shang-Chi is.
Shang-Chi is a martial arts hero in the MCU. He has the power to duplicate himself, but his true power is in the mystery of all martial arts.
The mystery of all.
This is Bruce Lee, but better.
So, like he knows all the styles.
He knows all the mysterious styles of Kung Fu and the martial arts as a whole. And I think that's the best part of the character. Not whatever power he may have, whatever superpower he may have.
Because he doesn't have superpowers.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the Kung Fu action of the movie will be the best part of that movie. And that's what I'm interested really about this movie, because it's been a while since we had a decent movie taking place in an Asian country.
Decent.
Maybe.
I mean, Doctor Strange on the first one was. Perfect.
Yeah, but that wasn't really Asian, you know.
I know. Like, what country was that? It was.
It wasn't China.
It was Taiwan.
I believe so. I have.
Or is it
I
Mandarin?
have to rewatch again.
Or is it Mandarin?
I have to see it again. I don't know, but this is.
It was kind of like it had Asian aesthetic though.
Yeah, it has an aesthetic, but it wasn't purely that. And this one will be.
Exactly.
Next to Mulan, this one will be. So I've been looking forward to see this kind of setting in an MCU movie, and I'm pretty happy with what I've been hearing about this project and about this character we don't know about. I've been very interested. I've been looking forward to it. Next to Shang-Chi is probably the crappiest title of all the MCU. WandaVision.
WandaVision?
WandaVision.
What the hell is WandaVision?
It is a Disney Plus show with Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, and Vision.
Oh my god.
Called WandaVision. I don't like the title.
That sounds like a different reality name for a television.
Funny you say that. Because this is being described like a wacky fun sitcom.
What do you mean wacky?
So
she's gonna stop being emo? No more Hot Topic Scarlet Witch?
Let me just show you an image of the poster, of the art of WandaVision. And
please be.
it's gonna give you a pretty good vibe of what's gonna be looking at.
I knew it. Yes.
Well, it's gonna
No
be that.
wonder the name is so goddamn like cheesy.
Well, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be this kind of sitcom mixed up with the
Uh,
what's going down.
what's the timer?
Whatever, we have a lot to talk about, anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's gonna be the mix of the MCU big time epic with a sitcom, and they're bringing back two MCU characters, which is the strangest of having in this kind of show. They're gonna be bringing back Darcy Lewis from Thor 1, Thor 2, the one girl that says Mew Mew.
Oh my god.
They're gonna bring her back to this one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to see if they're gonna if that movie's gonna be like a legit just
Show.
comedy.
It's a show.
Ah.
On
It's gonna be a
Disney Plus.
show, a comedy show. Bring
A
Ultron
comedy
back. Please
sitcom.
bring Ultron back. I can already see Scarlet Witch like going down the stairs, and then like you hear the father figure at the house. Where do you think you're going? You know, to Dad. Then the guy is sitting on the couch. Then he lowers the newspaper, and you see Ultron with glasses even, and he's like, "Sweetie, you know I don't like Vision. Now, do you?" It's like, "Dad, but I love him." Scarlett, go to your room
If
now.
they're if they're going down that route, I think I will be sold on this.
Because a lot of people, like a lot of people hated Ultron.
No, I
I-
like Ultron.
I absolutely
I
loved
did-
him. Now, did they do justice to him? No, it's not the same. But I find it hypocritical because Thanos, compared to the comics, is nothing compared to how he really
That's
is.
the issue. Nothing is like the comics. The comics are just a foundation to what they're establishing in the MCU.
Exactly.
But the stories they're telling in the big screen are much different than the comics because they're not purely based on the comics. And that's what I'm trying to say to the people that get mad because it didn't go the way they wanted it to go, like in the comics. This is a different medium. Not everything in the comic is gonna go well in the big screen. Not everything is gonna translate well.
Exactly.
There's a small comic book crowd, and then there's the casual crowd, which is bigger. That is why the MCU movies are making a billion movies each,
And-
a billion
And
$1 billion
in
dollars
Yeah,
each.
and in my opinion, like the movie of Ultron, like Avengers 2, fucking great. It was lit. One reason. If it was so trash, how come they used that movie as a foundation for the next continuity? Civil War took literally after that, and it was one of the biggest movies ever. You know,
I
and
get
there
you.
was a lot of events that happened after that.
I can take Ultron out of my mind. How you pitch it.
I-
I want it to
I
happen.
want that. I will pay.
Other
any-
than Darcy Lewis, have you seen Ant-Man and the Wasp?
um.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, the sequel.
Ah
to
yes,
Ant-Man.
yes.
Well, you remember the agent Jimmy Woo.
Yes.
He's gonna come to this series too.
They should bring also back Quicksilver. He could be like a brother, you know, the edgy brother.
This is why I'm gonna tell you why I can see Ultron and Quicksilver showing up in this series. The theory going around with this WandaVision show is that Wanda created this alternate reality where Vision is alive and she's living this good life in a sitcom world, having wacky fun.
So it's a spin-off.
No, it's gonna take place in the current MCU, but this is a world created by Wanda in her mind, where everything is fine, everything is funny, everything is wacky, everything is good times at home.
Jolly.
Yeah, jolly good time, and that's how they're describing it. So I have a feeling they're gonna go very deep into Wanda's mind because she's not well.
She's not.
And after everything going down with Vision dying, Quicksilver dying, the situation in Civil War, she's not alright. And I think this one's gonna go deep into that issue with her.
It's gonna go balls deep.
And you know why I think that's the route they're taking? Because this show is gonna be directly connected to Doctor Strange into the multiverse of madness. the sequel to Doctor Strange finally is coming, and they're gonna be diving deep into the multiverse.
Deep into the strangeness.
And this is what the director said.
But wait, if you mention multiverse is still a really complex uh, topic. With that said, the ideology of timelines can still be relevant.
No, it can be revisited on this movie. I don't want it to be
A factor.
exactly on the overall timeline of the MCU.
Uh huh.
But maybe in this movie where Doctor Strange goes through different realities, different universes, I can give that a pass. Now this is interesting.
Yes.
WandaVision is gonna connect straight to Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. Now Scott Derrickson, the director of the first Doctor Strange and the director of this movie, has described Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness as the first scary MCU movie. The guy's known for horror.
Wait, which one is gonna be the first character? Oh, Doctor Strange.
In the Multiverse of Madness.
It's gonna be so damn. It's gonna be the first darkest Disney slash Marvel.
And I am
ever.
a scaredy cat. I get scared very easily. I don't know how I can handle it, but I love Doctor Strange too.
I can handle scary movies.
I cannot
Scary
handle them.
games? Nah, scary games.
I cannot handle either. Hell, I was traumatized by Chucky by the better part of my life. That's how scared I get.
That's the story.
So this Doctor Strange sequel is gonna be the first scary MCU movie, and I love the MCU, so I'm forced to see this because I also love Doctor Strange. I'm gonna have to be ready for whatever happens if this is gonna get as scary as I think it might get, because Scott Derrickson already has a horror background.
I just thought of a joke.
What?
Indirectly, Scarlett fell in love with Google.
Oh. No, she fell in love with a sexual toy. Let's call it the way it is. A sexual toy with internet access.
I could probably find a cheaper prototype on Condom World.
Probably. Now, next in line, I forgot to mention Catherine Hahn, a pretty great actor, has been described to be on the WandaVision as the noisy neighbor.
The noisy neighbor?
Yeah, in the WandaVision show.
Uh-huh.
So now you know that this is going along the path of this is a wacky, fun show where this neighbor is gonna come out. Hey, Wanda, have you heard the rumors?
I'm looking forward now to this, but I'm only looking forward to it if I see
Daddy Ultron?
Yes.
Daddy Ultron?
Give me Daddy Ultron. Please. I beg you, Disney.
Well, next in line is the Loki Disney Plus show. It's gonna be 6 episodes long.
But is it gonna be like its own, like, how do I put it?
It's gonna be its own little space because it's
But is it gonna take place?
It's gonna take place right after Avengers 1. You know where, in Endgame,
Yeah.
Loki escaped.
Yeah.
That's where it's gonna take place.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be more like it would have been in my, like, because this is what I mean about like prequels, you could say. Like the Infinity Saga died, and the fire is just gonna diminish. In my opinion, if people wanted to see more of Loki, maybe we could have had, now that we opened the possibilities of multiverses, visit a different universe where he
Honestly,
is alive.
I just want to move on from Loki. I'm goddamn tired of Loki.
I would have liked it if it was how Thor described it on Ragnarok, with the whole cat and mouse chase.
No, I'm done with Loki.
'Cause-
I've been wanting him dead since Thor: The Dark World, because it was thanks to Loki's popularity that they reduced Malekith's involvement in the Thor: The Dark World movie, which gave Christopher Eccleston, one of my favorite Doctor Who's, a bad rap.
The thing is about Loki, the reason Loki couldn't have died back
It's
then.
overused. Loki is overused,
It's not
and
about
I'm
the
bored
usage.
of it.
It's not about the usage. It's about the fact that it's the only thing that will get.
The Loki test?
No, well, no. It's the only thing that would get Thor moving. Because in the first
Thor
one.
doesn't need Loki to move.
No, it was. Yeah, no. Wait. Come again? You don't need Thor for Loki to move
No, you don't need Loki for Thor's story to move on.
slightly.
No, you don't.
Because
You
ever
straight
since,
up don't. Thor has grown ever since the first Avenger.
but you totally
Ever
need.
since the first Thor movie, he has grown. He has fully grown. He doesn't need his little brother by his side. He can be his own man. With
But he gives him direction
no,
in a way,
no,
and we
no.
saw it a
We
lot
don't
with
need.
Ragnarok, because, like,
I don't. I don't want to see Loki again. Ever.
because right now
I'm
Thor.
gonna. I'm gonna straight up ignore this Loki show
Because
because I don't want to know anything
this is
about
how it
him
happened in the first movie. First movie, he got casted out by Big Papa.
Again.
He has two goals. Well, one goal first, which try to get his powers back. But eventually, Loki gave him a direction, and he came back and then beat Loki's ass. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Simple. Second movie, it was mainly more about his girlfriend, but again, Loki was still in between
Yeah.
and all that fiasco. And then the third one, almost the same direction.
And then he.
And now he's a vagabond. Like, he's literally a vagabond. He was supposed to be the king of Asgard, but Asgard is dead. So now
he's a drifter. You want to say he's a drifter, going around, just looking for a new home, looking for the next adventure to play around with.
Isn't that?
And I really don't care about Loki. I think I'm done with Loki. I want to move on to the next thing.
I wouldn't. What I'm saying is not that they should continue doing more with Loki. It's more like maybe they should have done something better in this show rather than again a prequel.
The show is gonna.
Because the same
It's
way
gonna. Do you know about the show? What the show's gonna be? It's gonna be Loki going around important events in history.
What? Wait.
And knowing if the sun's gonna rise on him again, which hopefully not. Hopefully he runs through Thanos, and then Thanos chokes him again, because I don't want to see him again. Honestly.
Who, Thanos?
Yeah, I want him to
No.
pop out out of nowhere. Hey
Thanos.
Loki, you're dead. I choked you. You're dead.
Thanos is.
I know he's a gunner, and we won't see him in Loki. But the point is, I'm done with Loki.
Like, again.
I'm getting Loki with Loki.
You could say I'm done with Loki. I'm not saying that they should bring him back. I'm not like those people.
Not
who
in the
still
MCU.
refuse.
I don't want to see him in the MCU.
No, not that. But my point still stands. Rather than doing, again, a prequel of things that happened in the past, because I'm done. That was like in Saga 1 before fucking Avengers 1, dude. Like, I want to move on from that.
Yeah,
I wanted to see something.
that is
new.
why I'm looking
'Cause
forward
in
to
Endgame,
That's why I'm looking forward to Eternals, to Shang-Chi, to the next sequel, to
same as I.
to
But in
Doctor
it,
Strange.
because one thing that in Endgame they played with time itself, right?
and that was one of my main concerns of Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Which was the
I
fact
nev-
that they changed the time.
No. The fact that they relied on the past too much.
Yeah, that was. I haven't seen it, but
Listen,
that was also one of my fear factors.
I get it. Iron Man's dead. I know. I had like 2 months to move on from that. I don't want you to remind me every 5 seconds of the movie that Iron Man's dead and who's gonna take his place. Now we know Spidey's not gonna take his place because he's a gunner. So that wasn't necessary. Anyways, next to Loki is this standalone show that's gonna take place in the MCU, but this is just a fun little thing called What If.
What if?
Yeah, What If is a series of animated episodes with most of the cast of the MCU coming back to make the voices of their characters.
Given with the name, I'm assuming it's gonna be different timelines of what.
What could have happened if this one little thing changed? And the example that they gave at D23 was, what if Steve Rogers wasn't Captain America and instead was
Bucky.
No, Peggy Carter, becoming Captain Britain is said. What if instead of Star-Lord Peter Quill being Star-Lord was T'Challa? You see what they're going to play with?
Yeah, but are those like things that you think, or
No, this is just a fun show. Just
you're an experiment?
just seeing what could have happened. This went this route.
Basically,
It's gonna be animated.
it's gonna be in different multiverses, basically.
Yeah, yeah. In other timelines, so let's say a cursed timeline. Oh, this guy is in Captain America. This girl is. It's gonna play around with that. And the biggest selling point of this show is that they're bringing most of the cast of the movies back as their characters. They're gonna bring in Hank Pym as Mr. What was his name?
They play a lot with those type of what if scenarios on the comics. Speaking of what ifs, is there
What
any,
if? Yeah.
Speaking of what ifs,
Michael
isn't there
Douglas
like
as Hank Pym is gonna come back. Yeah.
isn't there like a comic where Captain America is like was part of Hydra?
Yeah, but I think that was ongoing. That wasn't a what if story. What if is like
But
Bucky fighting a zombie Captain America.
that's
stuff
still a
like
what
that.
if. But
That's a
even
what
like, even
They
the
could play around with in the what if show that scenario. I'm not saying they can't.
I see Captain America as Hydra. I can see that.
I can
totally-
see that too. I like the tease that they teased it on the Endgame movie.
Yeah.
I like that movie because it was a repetition of my favorite scene on Winter Soldier, but playing out very differently.
Yeah.
I like that they brought back part of the cast of Winter Soldier just for that. Anyways, after What If, we got the standalone Hawkeye Disney Plus show, which will see Hawkeye training
His daughter.
his Kate Bishop is his daughter.
Huh?
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop?
Kate Bishop. Yeah, that's the new. Let's say the new Hawkeye.
That's her name?
That's her name. That's her actual name. Kate Bishop.
Oh, her actual name. I
Yeah.
thought it was like her hero,
No,
future hero.
obviously
name.
her name's gonna be Hawkeye eventually. But this is Hawkeye phasing out his hero days and passing the torch to Kate Bishop. Of course, it's gonna feature Jeremy Renner again as Hawkeye.
Mhm.
We don't know who's gonna play Kate Bishop, but this show is gonna be on Disney Plus as well.
How do you think?
And I think it's gonna be fun.
How do you think that's gonna play out?
I
Like, you think he's gonna teach her the calm ways of nature, or is she gonna
I think
teach
he's
her
gonna
the silent
he's gonna
assassin?
be yeah.
like
I
he
think
used
he's
to
gonna
be?
yeah exactly. I think they're gonna tackle that too, and I hope they do because I really want to know that side of him of what he went through in Endgame.
This is how I think it's gonna play out, right?
Hmm?
It's gonna start nice and easy, right? Then out of nowhere, some villains appear because of enemies that Hawkeye has gained in the past as an assassin,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna have the movie of Taken, but in reverse. And now we're gonna have the daughter have to put all the skills to the test. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I think it will be more of a passing of the torch kind of show. I don't think we'll see anything.
Like some sort of a vendetta or anything like that, no?
I doubt they'll go that route. And after Hawkeye, we got let me see on my list. We got the most anticipated sequel of the MCU, Thor: Love and Thunder. They're gonna bring in Taika Waititi, director of Thor Ragnarok, back to direct this movie.
What?
We're gonna have Thor again.
Wait a minute. With you saying that, what? Well, which movie's coming first, Thor or Guardians?
Thor.
Thor?
Yeah, Thor. Guardians 3 is still in development, and we're not gonna talk about Guardians 3 until James Gunn is done with Suicide Squad.
I cannot wait for that movie.
Yeah, I cannot wait. They just added Nathan Fillion for the cast, and I'm thrilled for him. Anyways, Thor: Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi is gonna direct once again, and they're bringing back, surprisingly, Jane Foster. We last saw her on Thor: The Dark, where we slightly saw her on Endgame
Yeah,
during
slightly.
during that timeline, but she's gonna return and she's gonna become the mighty Thor. And
Wait, what?
yeah,
She
we're
becomes...
gonna have two Thors in this movie. We're gonna have Natalie Portman playing Thor, and we're gonna have Chris Hemsworth playing Thor too.
She gets powers, and like, is this like only in the movies, or is this a thing in the comics?
Yeah, Jane Foster became Thor eventually,
Holy shit!
and I like it. I always thought that Natalie Portman was done because in Thor: The Dark World, I saw her phoning it in her acting.
Yeah.
I thought she was pretty much done with the MCU, but I think Taika Waititi gave her something so she can chew on. And I want to see that. I want to see two Thors on screen. I want to see Thor with Stormbreaker and Jane Foster with Mew Mew.
So we're gonna see, considering the title, obviously we're gonna see a lot of love conversation between him and Star Lord. Most definitely.
No, I don't think the Guardians will be
Guardians
involved.
they have to be there.
I doubt it.
They will be there.
Especially, I want them to. Don't get me wrong. I want them to be involved in this story. But I don't think.
I mean,
I think James Gunn has enough on his hands with Suicide Squad to go in with Taika Waititi to revise the script and work something out with the Guardians.
I mean, I
doubt
don't think
we'll
he's gonna
see
do
that.
that. I mean,
I think this is what will happen.
What was the name of the brothers? The ones who did
the Russo brothers?
The Russo brothers handled the Guardians on their own.
No,
James Gunn wasn't in the fray.
James Gunn was involved
was?
creatively with the Guardians. In those two movies.
Well, with that said, I mean, we still need characters to follow Thor through the story of the.
That's why we're gonna have Jane Foster back, and we're gonna have Valkyrie back. Tessa Thompson's gonna be back as Valkyrie, and she's looking for her queen. Now, since as you saw in Endgame, Thor named Valkyrie the new queen, the new king of Asgard,
Yeah.
and now Valkyrie's looking for her queen. And I want to say this first. I want her queen to be Jane Foster.
What?
I want it to be Jane Foster. Or no. I take that back. I want Captain Marvel to be her queen.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
And I hope it happens.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Because I hope it happens. Because they look so cute together.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I hope it happens.
Like, I don't see it.
I see it.
Nah.
In my dreams.
It won't happen.
I see Brie Larson and Tessa Thompson snuggling.
Nah.
And I want them to snuggle.
They may have like a
together.
strong personality. Strong
That's why I want
personality.
them. They are both strong, independent women.
It doesn't work that way.
I don't-
Opposites is what attracts the most.
I don't want.
That's why Thor and the News Lady were such a good pair. Opposite attracts the most.
Nah. We are in the new century where women can be empowering, and I like that.
Having both of the same thing is rather, at least in my opinion, boring.
Agree to disagree, John. Agree to disagree.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, we covered what's coming in San Diego Comic-Con with small details announced at D23. Something that they revealed at the end of San Diego Comic-Con was Blade. Blade will not take place in the Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Blade?
Yeah, Blade's gonna go, I think it's gonna be on Phase 5. But they did announce Mahershala Ali as the new Blade. And I can tell you that is the greatest casting the MCU has ever done since Tony Stark's Robert Downey Jr.
So we're finally having vampires.
Yeah. We're gonna have monsters and vampires and strange stuff to play around the MCU.
I wonder if we're gonna have those weird spider vampires also, but that now that Spider-Man is gone.
No, we're not gonna have Spidey, but we're gonna have Blade. Now, that's all we know about Blade. Now let's go through the D23 announcements. First thing they kicked off was with the Disney Plus panel, and they talked a little bit about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, WandaVision, which we already discussed. But they announced 3 new titles. They announced Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk. Nothing more than that. Just that these 3 characters are making their debut on the Disney Plus streaming service, and I think it makes sense. They're gonna be connected to the movies, but I think it makes sense because I want to see their stories fleshed out in more than 1 hour, 2 hours.
What's the story of She-Hulk? How did she became a Hulk to begin with?
What I know is that she had an accident of some sort.
Again with
And the only person that could share her blood with was with her cousin, which is Bruce Banner.
Wait, what? Wait, they're both related?
Yeah, they're related.
What?
They're cousins.
I did not know.
I did not know either. I'm gonna leave a link in the description where the stories of each character are defined. So for people like us who are just casual fans, but this is the basic story. She's been, I think she was on a tragic accident, and since Bruce Banner shares her same DNA or whatever, I don't know,
Blood type?
science stuff.
Blood type?
He transfers his blood
His
to
cousin?
Jennifer Walters.
Uh-huh.
Walters, yeah, or Jennifer Waters. I don't know. And since he has the gamma rays, she becomes She-Hulk, and she has to play around with being this hero and being a lawyer.
You think we're ever gonna see an implication of Planet Hulk?
Maybe in the future, yes.
Now that now with She-Hulk, it's
We have a bit of it.
now that we're having She-Hulk.
We have a bit of it in Ragnarok. Well, basically something. Okay, look, Hulk is stranded in this planet.
But it wasn't.
But we won't. I don't think we'll have a straight up Planet Hulk story play out in the MCU, because Hulk's rights are something more complicated too. But at least we get to play with Hulk.
Because I can kind of I can see somewhat a direction. Because now that Disney is willing on opening up more stuff about Hulk itself, seeing now with the implication of She-Hulk, if we were to bring hypothetically the Planet Hulk,
Yeah.
now that we have Smart Hulk, it will make sense for a movie because they're kind of they work kind of like a tribe. They're always angry also, and seeing Smart Hulk,
Yeah,
that's
but
gonna be
since-
kind of
But since Disney cannot make a solo Hulk movie, I doubt that's gonna be touched
how
upon.
come they can't do a solo Hulk?
Because the distribution rights is with Universal Studios, and
Really?
Universal, yeah, and I don't see them playing along with the MCU. Well, Marvel can have Hulk around with the Avengers and everything,
But he can't have
but he can't have his own movie.
a solo movie basically.
Yeah. But we're talking about She-Hulk here.
That's a shame. That explains a lot why. It's rather a shame because Hulk. There's a lot of. We could have better character development if he were to have
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Which
But
is
just like Sony, Universal doesn't want to play along.
which is why a lot of people were baffled and they dislike Smart Hulk
Mm-hmm.
because it came out of nowhere. Most of the development of Hulk comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We never see Bruce Banner solo with the Hulk.
Yeah.
They all just kind of happen.
Yeah, but since it's a difficult situation for Disney to move around with Hulk's story while sharing the screen with other characters, I doubt they'll tackle more Planet Hulk with another hero. So I don't see it happening. But at least we got She-Hulk. We got a series with She-Hulk,
At least.
which is an interesting character to play with. And in a Disney Plus streaming service, it can work out well. Now, the one that has me hyped, it's not Moon Knight. People are very hyped with Moon Knight, but he's basically Batman, but in Marvel. But I'm not
Rich
interested.
Rich guy with
He has
what's his theme?
he has multiple personalities.
Okay.
He has 4 personalities. He has the rich guy, he has the cab driver, he has the mercenary, and he's got Moon Guy.
And Moon Guy is
Moon Knight.
and Moon Knight is like the
Moon Knight is the hero of
uh-huh.
the story. Then he's got Mark Spector, which is the mercenary, and I don't remember the other 2 personas of him. But he's split between 4 personas,
But
which I find interesting.
it is interesting to play.
But I don't wanna. But that's not the one I'm looking forward the most. I'm looking forward to Miss Marvel, not only because it's more diversity to the MCU.
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, yeah. Kamala
Okay.
Khan, the first Pakistan Muslim superhero in the MCU.
first Pakistan superhero?
Yeah,
The hell?
yeah.
And why do we have another Marvel title character?
Because why not?
We already.
And she's different from Captain Marvel. She's very different from Captain Marvel.
I bet, but the thing, like, I mean, another Marvel titled character.
This is why I'm interested most in Miss Marvel.
God, good thing they changed the name.
Miss Marvel is gonna give them the chance to retcon the disaster that was Inhumans. Because if you see in
What's Inhumans?
the humans, best not to know.
Is
It was a movie that was going to happen that turned into a TV show that was a complete and utter garbage.
Wasn't Inhumans the one with the poster where it was like screaming?
Yeah, Black Bolt, who's the guy who can't talk.
I don't know anything about Inhumans. I just remember the posters. I think in the movies.
With a big dog.
Never mind. Oh.
With this little doggy that I have right here.
Never mind. Yeah.
Lockjaw. And that is why I'm excited for Miss Marvel. Not just because they bring diversity to the MCU, but because they have the opportunity to retcon the Inhumans and then bring in the cute big Lockjaw to the MCU.
What do you mean
and
retcon? It was canon? Was it canon with the MCU?
They were well, it's not canon anymore. But back in those days, they were playing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and with the Netflix, they were playing around. Oh, this will connect eventually to the MCU. That was those shows' selling point. Now it's not. Now they're not connected at all. But still, we had Inhumans on TV, which it was a movie planned that got turned into a TV show, and they messed it up badly.
What happens to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Oh, it's still going on. It's gonna go through its final season.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm surprised too. I didn't watch the last 2 seasons. I was very, very loyal to that show, but then I fell off with that show along with the other DC Universe shows. Eventually, I'll go back to it, but right now I'm just exploring different things. The only thing I want in my superheroes are cinematic experiences and the Disney Plus shows. We got everything covered. What is the 3 projects you're looking forward to the most?
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk?
Yeah, I've always liked the Hulk.
Other 2 projects in the MCU coming up?
Considering that I did... Oh, other 2... Like, all the titles that we mentioned.
Between all the titles that we talked about.
Oh, okay, then erase She-Hulk there. Let me see. I really like Doctor Strange.
So you're looking forward to this?
Yeah, I really like Doctor Strange. He was always my favorite. So, Doctor Strange is one. Second will be. Shit, we mentioned a lot. I may have forgotten a couple of them. Okay, list it
let
down.
me put you. Let me get the timeline right now. The phase 4 timeline.
I thought you were talking like about the 3 shows from Disney Plus.
No. Those shows are on the timeline too. So. Okay. Where is it though? Where the fuck is it?
You lost it?
No, I have it here. Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi, Thor: Love and Thunder, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Hawkeye, Loki, What If, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk.
Okay. Wait, Doctor Strange not there?
Yeah, Doctor Strange is there.
Oh, Doctor Strange. Give it to me. Give me the list.
This is the one from San Diego. I don't have the other one from...
Okay, Doctor Strange for 1. 2 would be Thor. And the third is more of a curiosity. Would be Eternals. If I would put a 4th, like in between, it will be WandaVision just because of the Ultron.
I would not. If we have Daddy Ultron, then I'm in. But for now, Doctor Strange, Eternals, Shang-Chi, and let me add Miss Marvel in the mix.
Okay.
I forgot to mention in the Disney film part of the D23 convention, they mentioned that Black Panther 2 is coming in 2021, I believe. No, 2022. Black Panther 2 with Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther 1, coming back again.
We have to wait for 3 years?
Yep.
Damn.
We don't have a title, we don't have a story, but we have the movie coming up.
I want to make a mention as to why I put Eternals in third
Why?
rather than any other franchise that I know about. Considering that I remember you hearing in the car earlier today a couple about the Eternals, and that, as the title mentioned, they are indeed, kind of like immortal beings. And I'm more interested in that because we could have slightly more lore.
2022 is coming, Black Panther 2.
We could have more lore, more story to put on the table rather than a prequel.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Shang-Chi is something new, but I feel that the Eternals can give out more to chew on. Because
No, I
Shang-Chi
get
is
you.
just one character, Like
Not only that, not only that, but Kevin Feige and the director of the movie, Chloe Zhao, are sure that it's gonna be very very loyal to Jack Kirby's work, which means it's gonna look very beautiful on screen. That is what I'm looking forward to, because that's gonna be a masterpiece of work in in the effects world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm looking forward to see it the most. Not only that, but because of the cast that it already has: Richard Madden, Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, Kit Harington, Gemma Chan. I'm looking forward to these guys playing characters in, well, except for Gemma Chan, which we already saw in Captain Marvel. I'm looking forward to see them play in the MCU sandbox. Especially Angelina Jolie, which she's having a comeback now with Maleficent 2 coming later this year. I want to see her play around with the MCU too.
Who?
Why not? Angelina Jolie.
Okay, Angelina Jolie. For
Yeah.
some reason, like my chaotic mind registered Maleficent in the MCU. Yes, that should be great. That would be replacement for Loki.
No, I didn't like the first one to begin with.
Wait, you didn't like Maleficent, the first movie?
No.
It was great, dude.
You know why I didn't like it, honestly?
Why?
Because they promised me Peter Capaldi and he wasn't on the goddamn screen. They
But,
cut him.
But Brian, it
They
has
cut
what you
Peter
love
Capaldi.
the
You
most.
don't.
Brian, it has
The-
what you
for
love
me,
the most.
no, for
Woman empowerment.
I know. But there are two things in life you do not do. You never cut Meryl Streep, and you never cut Peter Capaldi.
So,
Never.
but
Never.
That doesn't make him
Never.
really bad.
No, it doesn't make it bad. I'm not saying that. But
But
I was
that's not
disappointed. I was
the
disappointed.
statement. That's not the statement here. Is the
Anyways,
movie
we're
good?
talking about the MCU, and Angelina Jolie is playing in the MCU sandbox. I don't care about Maleficent. I don't care about that franchise. I only care about Angelina Jolie being in the MCU.
Okay.
Let's not go into.
I'll corner you again later.
No, you won't. Anyways, they mentioned, and they did not give details, and this is just a tease from Kevin Feige playing with our minds. He didn't mention Captain Marvel 2, he didn't mention Fantastic Four, he didn't mention Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and he didn't mention those mutants. And in between all of those four mentioned IPs, which one do you want first?
Fantastic Four.
I want Fantastic Four too.
I want Fantastic Four.
We need Fantastic Four again
Like,
now.
as a kid, I remember the first movie. Enjoyed it. Then I grew up and I learned how disastrous
And
it
I
is.
already got two people in mind for Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman.
Those maybe.
John Krasinski from A Quiet Place and The Office, and Emily Blunt from A Quiet Place, and Mary Poppins Returns. Boom! Mary Poppins in the MCU. Suck it, players.
I can see it from. It's from the. Wait, that's the guy from The Office, the boss, right?
No,
It's not.
no, he's not. Have you seen The Quiet Place?
I've seen The Quiet Place. It's the father, right?
Yeah, the father who.
There we go. Yeah, I know. There we. Okay, yeah.
I want him and his wife in real life, Emily Blunt, who is also in A Quiet Place, who is Mary fucking Poppins.
Fun fact: I think people wanted him for a live-action movie of The Last of Us.
I think they wanted Hugh Jackman, the former Wolverine, instead. Anyways, we're not talking about The Last of Us. We're talking about the MCU.
I said fun fact. It was just a little thing. It was like like a Snapple fact, you know.
We should talk about video game movies eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
That's
But
gonna
I
become
think-
an eventuality.
But for now, this is all. Sorry if it sounds stupid, our conversation. We're just warming up till we get used to this podcast
This
show
podcast mumbo
thingy.
jumbo.
Yeah, we're new at this. I'm nervous as fuck. I am very nervous to post this on YouTube.
I am.
But
not.
if you did listen to the end, thank you so much. We'll see you next month with a new episode where we'll talk about the streaming wars and the rise of Disney Plus. Thank you. This is Brian Chevrolet, the captain of the ship,
And Jan Chevalier, the co-captain of the ship.
and we'll see you next time in the Nonsense and Stuff show here on the Beyond Stuff channel.
And with that said, let's snap away Spider-Man.